Now we're going to be talking about the twins, but first, Jerry. Jerry was all about peace and not war. He was very obsessed with saving the environment and was always thinking about saving critters and doing volunteer work. Jerry was a very kind and well-mannered man, much compared to his twin. Jerry and Gary graduated in 1998 from high school. Jerry got his diploma. Jerry was offered many jobs, from factory work to the military, but he declined and said he wanted to help the family tree through the years. And Jerry did a very good job helping the family out for many years and helping hiring other people out who were in need of jobs so they could work at Lockwell Enterprises. However, Gary, on the other hand, is a different story as we enter the early 2000s. Gary was very much like his grandmother, Pam, if not worse. In 2000, after getting his piloting license, he began to take off to places that his family never even knew about. The stuff he came back with looked like stuff from Zula, which really concerned the family. When Gary found out that his friends died in a police shootout, he began to slowly lose his mind, despite Jerry and his parents telling him that they were the wrong type of people that he was hanging out with. It wasn't just the Lockwell family having trouble. Zula was having trouble from 2001 to 2003, called the Great Zula Fires. This period was a quite horrific event for Zula that had been going on since 2001 all the way to 2003. Several reports of house fires, vandalisms, and all that other stuff with the help of fire. The fires killed up to 70 and injured over 500. One of those that died were Wizzy and Wig's parents. The craziest part was, around this period, Bula, Zeter, and Molto joined the gang. Soon after, Gorga, and then in 2003, Wizzy and Wig, which was around the time their parents passed away in the fire. After the other Zula Patrol members retired, the 6 permanently took over the team. The Zula Patrol and the planet of Zula were starting to feel unsure about the Lockwells. Once again, around the end of 2004, tragedy struck as Gary and Jerry's parents, Penny and Casey Lockwell, perished in a car wreck. Without anybody's permission, Gary was in charge of the enterprises and got power-hungry ideas. Throughout 2005, Gary ruled the company like an iron fist, and many considered him an absolutely ruthless dictator who didn't take no for an answer to his employees. Gary abused his employees, making them work for extreme hours below minimum wage, and treated Jerry like an absolute slave. The planet of Zula and the Zula Patrol heard about what Gary was doing and decided to cut the friendship once again, and going right back to the old rule of Zulians not meeting humans. We then enter a horrific period that went on from 2006 to 2007, called the Great Civil War of Lockwell Enterprises. Jerry and the others went to go tell the authorities about Gary and how he was treating them. But due to a lack of evidence, the authorities let Gary and the other employees off the hook. And when Jerry heard about this, he wasn't too happy, of course. And it also didn't help how Gary was hiring a bunch of evil employees, mentally ill employees, to go kill the good employees out of spite so they could take their place. Jerry and the good employees knew that there was only one thing they could do to take back the enterprises, and that was war. Jerry did not want to take it back by using war threats and stuff, But unfortunately, it had gotten so out of hand and so bad, he knew this was the only way he could get the company back into a stable situation it once was in. Due to the fact where they were located, people in Illinois didn't even know of the situation that was going on, and due to the fact they were just not really anywhere where there was much authority taken. It was a long and a bloody civil war that killed hundreds. By the end of 2007, Jerry and his team completely conquered Lockwell Enterprises, and Gary and his team had to retreat somewhere, and Gary was absolutely furious. Gary came up with a massive plan to take back Lockwell Enterprises, from hijacking systems to poisoning the employees' food to using methods like torture and killing. By the end of 2008, the pressure had become so bad on Jerry that he gave in to Gary and his other men to take control of Lockwell Enterprises. Gary and his evil militia killed all of Jerry's men, but decided not to kill Jerry, but to do something somewhat worse. Gary and the others decided to erase Jerry's memories, except for them being brothers. Gary used Jerry like a butler, but more like a slave due to the fact on how he treated him. And due to a lack of memories that Jerry had, he didn't know what to do when Gary would ever beat him up, slap him, or burn him with practically anything. Gary made a big mistake keeping Jerry alive, as proved later on in this story. And good thing the Zula Patrol came to Earth during February of 2010, because them showing up practically saved Jerry's life. Because not only does Jerry gain back his memories in this film, but he gains something back much more powerful. This story teaches us the origins of many of our heroes in this film. Not just about Jerry, but how Bula and the others became part of the Zula Patrol, and what inspired them to become part of it. From what was meant to be a 1-month vacation for the Zula Patrol ended up becoming a chaotic road trip-like adventure, but was fun though nonetheless. From learning to how Gary got to where he was, to learning how Zeter has feelings for Bula, and so much more. But if I told you them all right now, I'd be spoiling the movie, and we'd be here all day. Like said in the trailer before, this movie is full of drama, romance, comedy, and action. Not only that, but we get to meet a lot of old faces in this film, and many new faces as well. And absolutely amazing scores of music, like this one currently playing in the background. Not only that, but our characters learn through trial and error on how they can improve themselves in the near future. This also comes to show that it can only take one person, like me, to bring a TV show back into the light where it once was. Though the show may not be running anymore, it will still be famous by fans.